हेलो एंड वेलकम बैक। लास्ट वीक हमने वीकली राउंड अप में डिस्कस किया था, उसके पहले भी डिस्कस किया था। जब एके ने हमको एक इम्पोर्टेंट सपोर्ट की बात करी थी 2675 26,075 के नीचे, जब लास्ट टू लास्ट वीक निफ्टी ने अपनी क्लोजिंग करी थी और तब से थोड़ी वीकनेस की बात थी। बट लास्ट वीकली राउंड अप में हमने कहीं ना कहीं सपोर्ट एक्सपेक्ट किया था 25,800 लेवल्स पे और वो ब्रीच हुआ। उससे नीचे निफ्टी ने मूव भी किया मंडे को, बट समहाउ यूएस साइड से सपोर्टिंग स्टेटमेंट आए और चीजें थोड़ी सी सही डायरेक्शन में जाती हुई दिख रही थी। आज मॉर्निंग में अच्छा था सब कुछ, आईटी ने अच्छा सपोर्ट किया, बट कहीं ना कहीं कुछ लैकिंग है, कहीं ना कहीं कुछ कंफ्यूजन है। तो चलिए, एज ऑलवेज कंफ्यूजन को दूर करने के लिए हम हमेशा जाते हैं एके के पास और समझते हैं कि क्या किया जा सकता है। सो लेट्स ब्रिंग हिम इन। गुड इवनिंग।
Good evening, Rachit. How are you?
I don't know. Now you tell me, how should I be looking at the situation?
Rachit, I'll be honest with you. This time even I am very confused. आप जैसे मेरे को हर समय मुझे आप बोलते हो कि निफ्टी जैसे मैं जो लेवल्स डिफाइन कर देता हूँ निफ्टी उस रेंज में ही रहती है। इस बार थोड़ी चूक हो गई, नो डाउट अबाउट इट, बिकॉज आई एक्चुअली स्ट्रांगली बिलीव दैट 25,800 टू बी अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट फॉर निफ्टी। एंड मैंने आपको लास्ट वीडियो में भी आपको बोला था कि ये जो 25,800 के नीचे जो मार्केट पुश किए जा रहा है because of whatever sort of statements that is coming from Trump, and whole sort of action like Denmark saying that no, we will capture, we have our right on Greenland, and US making some statement, all that is triggering a lot of fear in the world, geopolitical tension जिसे कहते हैं। मतलब उसके लिए जरूरी नहीं है कि वॉर हो, एक स्टेटमेंट के वॉर से भी काफी नुकसान हो जाता है।
राइट।
तो वो हो रहा है, but ऐसे सिचुएशन में रचित देर इज नथिंग फंडामेंटली गुड दैट कैन सपोर्ट any market. If you keep getting statements like this from world leaders, where where it is always indicating some sort of uh, tariff war or a trade war or an actual war, that is never so encouraging for the markets. तो उसकी वजह से I think to a great extent lot of sell off was triggered because of that. In fact, अगर आप ये वीक में देखें तो markets did a couple of attempts to come up above 25,800. एक तो फ्राइडे को in the middle of the day they were trading above 25,800 only, but somehow in the second half it just slid down and closed below. I think they closed at wait 25,694, just
राइट।
about 25,700. Again an crucial thing. बट जैसे मैंने आपको लास्ट वीक बोला कि ये एक और वीक है जो थोड़ा डल मार्केट रहेगा, रेंज बाउंड रहेगा, एटलीस्ट टू दैट एक्सटेंट वी आर गुड, बिकॉज आई बिलीव ट्रेडर्स मस्ट बी हैप्पी नाउ फाइनली। अगर
नहीं,
आप
but
देखें
one thing which I really want to get back onto, you were just talking about the fundamentals, and very clearly I remember from the second half of December, we were also talking about the fact that we might get some kind of confidence when the result season kicks in.
right,
How have you've been through them, and what do you think? How are they panning out to be like?
okay, so Rachit, we are about 1 week into result season. अगर आप major results देखें तो broadly speaking, almost whole of IT sector has delivered their results. Okay, and I see one common point with all of these results. Although I want to reiterate that I had this expectation that we as a market are going in with very well managed expectations for
Right,
Q3 this
right.
year compared to what we were last year. Last year we were going in with extremely high expectation. and they were bound to be, we were bound to get disappointed with that.
Right.
उसके comparison में we were going in with a very realistic expectation, and yet every result of IT company that we have seen has one common thing, that it has the income has missed the estimate.
Right.
So I obviously I saw that this is a common point,
Hmm.
and I read about it, and obviously I'd like to share something with you. See, we go with Infosys. Their their net income was down 14% YOY.
Hmm.
Okay, we go with TCS. Net income down 13.9% YOY at 10,657 crore. Okay, HCL Tech 11.21% down
Hmm.
YOY. Net, we are talking about net income only, right?
Right.
Wipro net income down 6.9%. You know what is, again, what is common? All their net revenues are either at in line with expectation or have beaten the expectation. Wipro's net revenue has actually beaten the expectation.
So somehow the cost factor is triggering.
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes. And when I read more about it, uh, it turns out that the new labor code that came into picture in November. Okay, and
Hmm.
these are very labor intensive companies. They have a huge workforce. Okay, and
Hmm.
attrition rate has always been a big cause of concern for these companies. So this new labor code has changed the way things are defined in many ways. There are many things. There are at least 18 to 20 different points where they have changed the definition of a lot of technical things. So that technically changes a lot of uh, lot of things, how you define a certain thing like a gratuity or all HR related thing, and that could potentially in the current state have a huge financial impact on these companies.
But in this thing, I have one question, which is
Yes.
now again because we're talking about it. Infi gave guidance, which I believe that somehow they were expecting a upside in the time to come. Then how are they planning to do this?
I'll just tell you about this. So so they must have, they must have defined their roles or done their hiring with the old code in mind, right?
Hmm.
And suddenly the new labor code gets applied.
Hmm.
Obviously, their system is not the best suited in view of this new code. So it will take a quarter or two to adjust all of this.
To realign in that
Yes,
particular.
yes, yes. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. That it may take some time to adjust and realign to the new code, and eventually things will smoothen out. ओके नाउ इन्फोसिस का जो गाइडेंस है, आप देखिए इन्फोसिस का गाइडेंस देखिए. दे हैव सेड दैट नेक्स्ट ईयर profit estimate is increased by 1%. What they had already given, they're saying that they'll achieve 1% above that. Okay,
Hmm.
the revenue target per quarter is 3.3 to 3.5% above than
Hmm.
what they what they had previously said.
Hmm.
Also, they say that 7.5% EPS growth over 26 to 28 financial year,
Hmm.
which is again higher. So on all these counts, their guidance for the next couple of years is actually very good and improved. नाउ यू हैव सीन नाउ द इम्पैक्ट. ये जब गाइडेंस आई, तो आप सिर्फ थर्सडे और फ्राइडे का अगर आप मूवमेंट देखें, तो निफ्टी आईटी इंडेक्स was about 2.5% up. Infosys was leading. Infosys was almost 4.5% up. You had similar movement in HCL Tech, similar movement in TCS because of the guidance given by this Infosys.
Hmm.
So all in all, from what we have seen in the result season, specifically IT, results have been bad, as in they have failed to reach their estimates. But that is only because of the labor code. It looks like,
Hmm.
clearly there is an issue. There is no problem with the top line. There's a problem with the bottom line. So obviously, somewhere in the middle, some problem is there. जो टॉप से बॉटम तक आते आते एस्टिमेट्स छूट जा रहे हैं.
In that case, coming back, going forward to the next week, because we have been discussing the top line and bottom line so much, and
Right,
only one thing
right.
which is running in my head, that the bottom line of Nifty is disturbed right now. It is not getting
Absolutely.
any support from 25,800 levels.
Right, right.
Are we changing the trajectory, or it is just a week which has just, it has just happened, and now everything will be fine? And while we're approaching the budget, there might be some announcements, and the Nifty will start going up again.
So again, Rachit, the markets have technically gone into a sell zone. Once it broke down below that 50-day moving average. If I remember correctly, it was almost 2 weeks back,
Hmm.
on the 2nd of Jan or something.
Hmm.
It broke down below the 50-day moving average. So
Hmm.
that was kind of a, that 50-day moving average was attempted. This was the fourth attempt in a month's time to break down, and it was successful. So that itself indicated that some sort of downside definitely there was definitely there, but we were still close to 26,000 that time.
Hmm.
Okay, and like I said, I really envision 25,800 to be very strong support based on all the data that we are getting. But
Right.
yes, further downside, अगर आप इस वीक का लो देखें तो हम मतलब we even broke 25,500 at an intraday
Monday.
level.
Yes.
So that itself is a very this thing, to break down. अगर फंडामेंटली 25,800 सपोर्ट लगता है, उससे 350 पॉइंट तोड़ देना इज समथिंग really scary, I would say. So I would not be very optimistic in the coming week. I would not be, if you ask me, if I have to do a trade and where I have to hold, where I can hold on, then I'll probably say that, okay, fine, it's a good time to buy and hold on. But if you tell me that, if I have to do a quick trade, I don't think it's a market is in a, with so much negative news floating around in the this thing, and volatility has also increased. I don't see a reason why anyone would want to, buy and then wait for this, to get an upside.
Are you saying that we have entered into the negative trend and we might go down further?
We can go down further, Rachit. I'm not denying the possibility. We can go down further. We will not stay down there. I'm not saying we will stay down there. 25,500, 25,400, मेरे को I don't think all of that level is going to sustain. But having said that, to say something like वहाँ हम जाएंगे ही नहीं is going, speaking too ahead of yourself. So I will not deny that हम 25,400 टच कर सकते हैं, हम definitely टच कर सकते हैं. But right now I don't see a reason why market would stay there.
Okay. And in that case, I believe the support for the week is 25,400. What is the resistance that we're looking at?
Well, now I think it's 25,800, because technically it has become such a strong. See, always it happens. Mentally, if you look at a chart and you see, a level which is an extremely strong support level. Okay, जो जिसको तोड़ने में बाजार, मतलब आप समझिए 2-3 अटेम्प्ट लग जाए, 2 बार बाउंस बैक कर जाए, उस लेवल से ऊपर चला जाए, उसके बाद बहुत मुश्किल से टूटे वो लेवल, तो अब फिर क्या होता है, जब नीचे से ऊपर जा रहे हो तो उसको ब्रीच करना भी उतना ही टफ हो जाता है. सो वो एक रेजिस्टेंस की तरह भी एक्ट करता है. सो See, plus minus 20 points here and there. But 25,800 means 25,780, 25,850, ऐसे आप वो जो रेंज है वो एक रेंज है, उस रेंज में मार्केट स्टिकी हो जाएगा. अगर आप देखें इस वीक का चार्ट, अगर आप देखेंगे तो इस वीक में भी मार्केट ने दो बार अटेम्प्ट किया ऊपर जाने का और दो बार उसी रेंज से वापस नीचे आया. It somehow gets sticky, it starts attracting selling, or somehow when it reaches that point, it always, something or the other statement comes in, wherein you next morning you wake up with a gap down opening.
Okay. So I believe for this coming week, I'm not really very happy because to my surprise, things are turning in a very different direction. I was expecting something totally different. But okay, this is
But
what it
but it's
is.
a but Rachit, I was saying that time it is a good time for the traders, na. I see. I remember very clearly 2 weeks ago, till 2 weeks ago, when VIX was in single digit,
Hmm.
8.5, 9, and there was absolutely no action in the market. And I heard a lot of people complain, यार मजा ही नहीं आ रहा है, कोई एक्शन ही नहीं है बाजार में, मूवमेंट ही नहीं है, मजा ही नहीं आ रहा है, ये इस टाइप की कंप्लेन होती थी. तो ठीक है, अभी लीजिए वॉलेटिलिटी. विक्स आ गया, विक्स वापस 12 के करीब आ गया. आई थिंक 11.5 था कुछ विक्स लास्ट टाइम आई सॉ चेक्ड. एंड वॉलेटिलिटी हैज इंप्रूव. आप अगर आप इंट्रा वीक वॉलेटिलिटी देखेंगे तो नीचे का पॉइंट और ऊपर का पॉइंट में गुड, देयर इज अ 450 पॉइंट का डिफरेंस है निफ्टी में. खेलने को आपको मिल रहा है पूरे वीक में 500 पॉइंट, खेलिए.
But I believe the trading community was expecting something totally different. They were saying market में movement लेकर आइए, देखा जाएगा जो होगा. But अब जो हो रहा है वो देखा तो नहीं जा रहा है. But anyhow,
रचित
I
रचित देखिए देखिए, ऐसा है कि देखिए, ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता ना कि आपको मार्केट में मूवमेंट भी चाहिए और जैसे आपने पोजीशन बना लिया उसके मुताबिक भी चाहिए. देखिए, ऐसे तो नहीं होता है. आपको मार्केट में मूवमेंट चाहिए, मूवमेंट मिल गया, अब आप देख के पोजीशन बनाइए. 2 हफ्ते पहले तक सब बोल रहे थे कि बोर हो रहे हैं, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है मार्केट में, अब हो रहा है तो फिर किया नहीं जा रहा है.
Chaliye, got it. So 24,000, sorry, 25,400 to 25,800 would be the level for the coming week.
Yeah.
But if any positive news comes in, or practically we are making this video before the Reliance results. If the
Right.
result of Reliance comes in and it gives a different story altogether, then probably we might maintain above 25,800 and then go ahead. Is that a possibility?
से डेफिनेटली रचित, डेफिनेटली. इनफैक्ट अगर हमने मेजर रिजल्ट्स देखे तो हमने मतलब एक दो छोटे बैंक्स का रिजल्ट आया और मेजर आईटी कंपनीज का ही रिजल्ट आया. तो वी हैव in effect just seen about the impact in one sector.
Right,
One
right.
sector, okay. We need to see the impact, how the industry leaders in BFSI, in retail, or the big wigs like जैसे लार्सन हुआ, रिलायंस हुआ, आईटीसी हुआ, इनके जो बड़े बड़े कंपनी के रिजल्ट आएंगे ना, वी हैव टू सी how that is, how that is playing up, how they have performed this quarter. We have to see manufacturing, we have to see consumer. See, we have seen right now, we have seen the macros data
Hmm.
कि भाई हमारा कंजम्पशन अच्छा जा रहा है.
Hmm.
GST data is also supporting that, good amount of consumption is happening. Okay. Your okay, fine. There is a dip in your mutual fund flows. Domestic investment में थोड़ा dip है, ठीक है, okay. But your CPI data, WPI data, all are coming under control. Macroeconomic data is really, really supporting a
Hmm.
good, growth, stability kind of an environment. Are our companies, जो बड़ी कंपनीज जो सामान मैन्युफैक्चर कर रही हैं, जो मार्केट में जिनका माल बिक रहा है, are they having, reaping the benefits of all this?
That we have to see.
Yes, that we have to see. So, agar if that is that being the case, so it will directly translate into the stability into stock market.
Okay.
Right.
Though it was not a very good
Encouraging.
thing that we got to learn about the coming week.
Right.
But जो है सो है. And as always, it's amazing talking to you and learning about the markets. And
Mm.
hope to catch up with some positive news and some positive directional change in the coming week. Till then, have a happy weekend. Thank you and bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you. Happy weekend.